Hi, and thanks for joining me for another career development tip where we keep it short, simple, and specific, or KISS for short. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start and keep a job journal of accomplishments. And then I'm going to tell you the 3 huge benefits that you can get from keeping such a journal. A job journal of accomplishments is especially useful for students, new graduates, and young professionals. But the benefits are for everyone. So it doesn't matter where you are in your career, you can still benefit from this type of a journal. Now, a journal is just a daily record of experiences. A job journal doesn't have to be a daily record. You should write in it only when you recognize an accomplishment at work. Now, an accomplishment consists of 3 parts: the situation that you're in, the skill or skills that you use, and the result or outcome which is positive or beneficial for the company you work for. These are the 3 parts of an accomplishment. And a job journal of accomplishments has 4 parts. The first is the title. The second is a brief description of the situation you were in. The third part is a brief description of the skill or skills that you used. And the fourth part is the result or outcome that was positive because you used the skills in that situation. Now, the title should be really short. It should only contain keywords of the skills. And I recommend using keywords for the primary skill and the secondary skills. Let me explain. There are 2 types of primary skills: people or soft skills, and technical or hard skills. Some examples of people or soft skills include listening, presenting, problem solving, working on a team, managing, and leading. Examples of technical or hard skills include using software, for example, using Photoshop to design a logo, or using Microsoft Word to write, edit, and design a report. Other technical skills include using tools to build things. This could be in construction or engineering. It includes fixing things such as machines, or building things such as machines or buildings, or even software. Coding is another technical skill. So those are examples of secondary skills that I just gave you. So that should be your title. So an example of a title could be people skills, problem solving, and that's it. The reason you want to use keywords for these skills is because in Microsoft Word and other word processing tools, there is a search or find function. So that when you need to look up an example in your job journal for a specific skill, you can simply use the find function, type the skill, such as problem solving, and a piece of software like Microsoft Word will then locate every journal entry in your journal that contains these words. It makes it really easy to search for specific journal entries. Then when you finish that, like I said, describe the situation. What was it? Now, some of my students, when I teach resume writing, especially how to write accomplishment statements, some of my students say that they don't have any accomplishments because they are only a cashier or a customer service clerk at a retail store or something like that, or they work part-time. The type of job doesn't matter. That's not important. What is important is what you did. So if you helped a customer process a return and the customer is happy the way you did that, That's an accomplishment. Put it in your journal. If you helped your customer to make a decision about a specific product that they want to purchase, that's an accomplishment. You've used listening skills, communication skills, and problem-solving skills to help your customer. So every job lends itself to accomplishments. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you can still identify and note important accomplishments. It doesn't matter how big they are. Now, once you've done that and you are building a list of your accomplishments, that has 3 huge benefits. Benefit number 1 is related to writing your resume for that next job that you want to be applying for. Remember, every time you apply for a job, you need to customize your resume for that job. You need to match your accomplishments and skills to the skills and qualifications listed in the job description. When you're keeping a job journal, this becomes really easy. All you need to do is identify the specific skills in the job advertisement, then use those words in the find function in Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word will find the job journal accomplishment entries that you made that will match those keywords in the job advertisement for the job you're applying for. It really reduces the time that it takes to customize a resume for each new job. So that's benefit number 1. Benefit number 2 is related to job interviews. When you're preparing for a job interview, review the relevant job journal entries that you have that match the requirements of that job. When you have the situation, the skills that you used, and the results that you have created for the company that you worked for before, or maybe that you still work for, you now have a mini story that you can use in your job interview. Now you can take it a step further. Bring your laptop to the job interview and ask the interviewer if you can use the laptop during the interview. You could say something like this: I've prepared some notes for our interview. Would it be okay if I used my laptop during our conversation? They will always say yes. And if you want to take it a step even further, you can tell them what you did. Tell them that you've been keeping a job journal. And that demonstrates your initiative, it demonstrates that you come prepared, and it demonstrates that you are professional. You're making an impression, a positive impression on the interviewer, and you're differentiating yourself from the other applicants. This increases your chance of getting that job. In addition to showing that you're prepared at the job interview, this will also make you feel more confident because you have your notes right there with you. And confident applicants have a higher chance of getting the job. The interviewer can tell if you're confident in your skills or if you're not. And the confident people win more often. And then finally, the third big benefit is that it's a process of building your value proposition. As you're making entries in your job journal of accomplishments, over time, you will start to see a pattern. You will start to see that you're using some skills more often than others. You can easily see that by typing the name of the skill in the search tool in Microsoft Word. You can see how many times it appears in your document. By reviewing your job journal in this way, you can start to focus in on your strengths. So going back to benefit number 2, related to job interviews, when the interviewer tells you or asks you, tell me about your strengths, your job journal of accomplishments can help you identify what your real strengths are, and then you can confidently share them with the interviewer. On the flip side, you will also start to notice which skills you don't use that often. So when the interviewer asks you, tell me about your weakness, you can tell them that you've been using these skills, but you'd like to use them more often to produce more results, more positive results, and it's your goal to focus on developing these skills. So I hope this tip was useful for you and that you will consider and hopefully start a job journal of accomplishments to build and develop your career, succeed in job interviews, and be more confident and take less time in customizing your resume to the job advertisements for which you are applying. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, please make sure to include them in the comments section below.